Good morning, everybody. The topic of our talk today is, will AI hack you? Maybe more importantly, have you already been hacked by AI? And the answer is yes, you have been hacked. We ask the question, who are these hackers? Well, hackers gain access to your system in an unauthorized or unintended way. Hackers are nefarious personalities mostly. Hacking is carried out by people motivated by profits predominantly. Hacking can be good or bad. Hacking can exploit vulnerabilities in a system, costing the users, businesses, and governments billions of dollars each year. Ethical hackers can help protect businesses. This process allows organizations to identify the vulnerabilities and then mitigate them. It inevitably means closing the security gaps in your infrastructure. Hackers can use algorithms to hack your infrastructure, and algorithms can be used to manipulate your decisions and choices. It turns out we're the weakest link in the hacker's arsenal. Why is that? Well, because we're human beings. We err, we make mistakes, we often say sorry, that was an accident, and hopefully we learn from our mistakes. No matter how willful we are, there's always a way of manipulating our decision-making process with a creatively engineered AI bot or by a manipulative criminal. No matter how efficient our firewalls, malware protection, cryptography, and intrusion detection systems are, we are more vulnerable than computers. Now, why are we more vulnerable? Well, it turns out that we have a set of preloaded cognitive biases. Now, unfortunately, these are a recipe for AI and lesser technologies, including unscrupulous individuals, to take advantage of our trusting nature. Remember the Windows blue screen of death? Guess what? We have our own built-in blue screen of death, a subset of psychological system errors, with over 185 different ways of being irrational and deluded. Here are a few examples of those built-in system errors. The Dunning-Kruger effect is where we all think we are much better at doing most things, when in actual fact we're not. For example, 90% of us believe we are better drivers than we are. The accident statistics and insurance claims prove otherwise. This may come as a surprise to some of you. The Barnum effect, also commonly referred to as the Forer effect, describes when individuals believe that generic information, which could apply to everyone, applies specifically to themselves. This is great for horoscopes and conspiracy theorists. The backfire effect is when people encounter evidence that should cause them to doubt their beliefs. They often reject this evidence and strengthen their support for the original stance. Confirmation bias, looking for more reasons to support your notion, however wrong it may be. For example, imagine that a person believes that left-handed people are more creative than right-handed people. Then, whenever this person encounters a left-hand person who is creative, they place greater importance on this evidence that supports what they already believe. Now, these cognitive biases are a recipe for malevolent algorithms to manipulate us, and they do just that. Let's ask the question, what is AI, ML, and DL? What do they mean? Well, AI is artificial intelligence. It's a technique to enable computers to mimic human behavior and intelligence, using logic and if-then rules. Now, AI is a subset of data science. ML is machine learning. It is a subset of AI, which includes abstruse statistical techniques to enable machines to improve a task with experience, which is in essence learning. Now, DL is deep learning. It is a subset of machine learning. It's composed of algorithms that permit software to perform speech and image recognition tasks by exposing multi-layered neural networks to large data sets. Let's take a step back. Remember Skynet and the Terminator movie? Cast our minds back to October 1984, Hollywood's interpretation of how a fledgling AI and its superintelligence ego, Skynet, perceived humanity as a threat once it became self-aware and then created the Terminator as an enforcer, which, as depicted, proceeded to hunt down John Connor, the savior of humans from this threat. But alas, John Connor saved humans by coming back in time to destroy Skynet before it became self-aware. Imagination, quantum physics, time travel, and the unknown all rolled into one science fiction masterpiece. Where are we in the AI hierarchy today? Well, we're at the bottom of the run, at the beginning of the fourth industrial revolution. We are at the planning, foundation, and building phase. As mentioned, artificial neurointelligence is the foundation of what is to come. Currently, we have a family of familiars: Alexa, Cortana, Siri, IBM Watson, and ultimately Deep Blue beating Garry Kasparov, the world chess champion player, in 1997. Artificial intelligence, general intelligence, is where we will be in the not-too-distant future. We are edging closer and closer to that time when we may have machines with mood swings, attitudes, teenager issues, and even emulate being too tired or lazy when we need the help. It could be a virtual friend or a robot, an intelligence that would pass the Turing test and passes human to the unsuspected. Now imagine the future of psychology due to the relationship challenges between humans and AI. Imagine a therapist dealing with an issue like this. I see job creations in many sectors. Now, artificial superintelligence is a realm exclusive to the movies, such as Superintelligence, iRobots, Ex Machina, and the Terminator series. There's an interesting prediction called the Kurzweil Singularity. We ask ourselves the question, what is the Kurzweil Singularity? Well, the futurist Ray Kurzweil predicted that by the year 2045, computers would overtake the human brain's abilities. Ray Kurzweil has a documented 86% accuracy rate in his technological predictions. Many believe that the singularity may and will be realized a lot sooner with the invention of quantum computing. A good question is, how is AI part of our daily lives? Let's look at a few examples and associate some pros and cons to them. They are aiding and avoiding traffic congestion, offering movies such as Netflix. In addition, music recommendations, voice-controlled personal digital assistants, popular self-driving cars, and vehicles like Tesla. Instant translation of language on platforms such as Facebook, WhatsApp, and Google Translate. That is a pro. Advising on health and medical treatments, identifying minute variances in the tone of your voice and the expressions of your face to the way that you walk. These can provide clues to your mental and physical health. With AI advancement of radiological prognosis, we see AI excelling in pre-cancer detection, a big pro. Influencing elections is not that different from persuading someone to purchase something. There's often moral and ethical issues to be considered in matters like this. This is a con. We are already part cyborg. We carry our cognitive extensions around with us wherever we go, our mobile devices in hand. When we want to know something, we tap away or speak into these applications, giving a little bit of ourselves away each time we perform that ritual. The answers are returned to us almost instantly. The data can be biased based on the algorithms used. It has been proven. Directing your attention away from where you want it to be to where the algorithm wants your attention to be. That is a con. How is AI being used in the cybersecurity industry to defend us from attackers? Is a very good question we would ask. By using sophisticated algorithms, it identifies atomic level variances in patterns and identifies malware and ransom attacks even before they happen. Applying behavioral analytics to predict how systems or people behave, identifying any unlawful behavior, and automatically then mitigating those threats. AI can also be used in various sources of information such as open source intelligence, information sharing and analysis centers to gain an insight into industry standard threats to formulate the best decision-making processes, which means AI can then prioritize how to defend against these attacks once it knows what is attacking your system. Utilizing AI to identify your asset list can determine which assets are at the highest risk, then allocate resources to those that are most vulnerable. Now, the future of AI in the superyacht industry, well, AI will plan and map out your journeys from one destination to another instantly. You can also use your mobile device to resource the best path, best route, the cost of your journey by simply shifting a few icons around on your mobile device. Then, the parameters are uploaded to your superyacht management system. AI executes the selections. The results are returned to you instantly. The charter's dream, mobility at its best. Curating the entire operational environment on your vessel, managing all safety aspects. Providing real-time costs, the live results displayed on your mobile device, creating a safer, more secure decentralized model. Direct connectivity to your superyacht, increasing productivity and allowing you more free time. Replacement of all the crew by iRobot or Ex Machina style robots. Fewer HR issues. It may be a point upon or at least a novelty at this stage. Now, AI in the maritime industry, the Mayflower 400 project was an AI-driven autonomous vehicle designated to self-navigate a 400-year crossing of the Mayflower between Plymouth, UK and Plymouth, the USA. Within 3 days of its voyage, there was a mechanical failure, resulting in the vessel returning to port to have the part replaced by a human. Irony at its best. However, there are lessons to be learned in innovative, disruptive science. The desire to apply AI to the yachting industry will no doubt increase, improving the owner experience. AI will lower running costs, ensure that trips and charters are not cancelled due to weather, mechanical, or standard errors. Predictive AI can recognize potential mistakes in advance and automatically provide actions to resolve them. A few concerning factors about AI. The current race is the first to create AI intelligence equal to and above that of human intelligence. However, we see massive advances in AI military weapons. That, unfortunately, seems to outweigh the need to invest in more important matters, such as climate change, famine, and other related problems we face as a human race. It seems we have our priorities confused. We can resolve many of these challenges without the need for AI. So why are we not doing it? We need to be cognitively vigilant that we humans are inherently biased and avoid feeding our emotional AI narrative. Second, we need to change the way we manage these conditions. Third, we need to implement more checks and balances to orchestrate a balanced future. Fourth, we need to provide our fledgling AI children with the right content. And finally, we need to be morally and ethically incorruptible as AI parents. Yachting is an industry where the boundaries are constantly challenged, so I wouldn't be surprised if a new untested AI technology is adopted first by the superyachting industry, as it has been in the past. However, a point to ponder is that it won't be the first time we could end up being victims of something new, which results in us being Captain Guinea Pig in some form or another. We do not want a rogue AI controlling our vessels or lives. AI is an unregulated industry. It is an open source environment for almost anyone can contribute to an AI, ML, and DR project. The innovator's dream. The challenge here is that anyone can download an array of working ML algorithms from a public repository and then weaponize them. I have, in my capacity, downloaded and modified such an algorithm anonymously. I know others have, can, and will do so in the future. We need to take some steps to protect ourselves from AI-driven attacks. Well, the blockchain is one. It provides a good historical source of information. New innovative technologies that have been tried and tested and accredited by a regulated AI board is something far from reality at present. Record keeping, accountability, and securing AI intellectual property at all costs. Demonstrate the path of information dissemination. Certify the information as trusted. Automation of processes and innovative management allows for automatically detecting abnormal behavior and the real-time response repelling attacks before they damage the system. Innovative new technologies to identify zero-day attacks and to neutralize threats before they reach us. Augmented AI will aid in intelligence analysis and expand the capabilities of human experts. In other words, keep training the experts in working with AI technologies. Now, AI might be unbeatable at predicting the behavior of large, complicated systems, but inevitably fails when trying to forecast the behavior of an isolated individual. Our behavior is influenced by irrational factors that often the most sophisticated AI models can't calculate. So, if we have already been hacked by AI, and the level at which AI can compute can only exponentially increase, are we doing enough to protect our minds, the cybersecurity of our vessels, and our businesses today? Thank you.